Renunciation is not giving anything up. It is taking something up. We are back with another reflection on the daily Vedantic. And today's reflection is on the essence of this philosophy. Previously, the last few days, I've covered a few higher level concepts. Well, say higher level, but this philosophy is not that complicated. It's actually quite simple. The intro episode covers it soup to nuts in about 15 minutes. But I've covered some of the deeper ends of the pool. Some of the advanced concepts within this philosophy. But the essence of this philosophy, also quite simple, but it's worth calling out in its own reflection, that you can get caught up in a whole bunch of really fascinating concepts within the philosophy of Vedanta. But the essence of this philosophy is in the Sanskrit word Vairagya, which means renunciation. Renunciation, renouncing the world, renouncing possessions, is so misinterpreted that nearly the whole reflection is on what it isn't as much as it is on what it is. Renunciation is not selling all your possessions, abstaining from possessing anything. Renunciation is not giving up anything. That is the effect. It looks like you're giving things up. It's not living an ascetic lifestyle in a cave somewhere. That is, as Vivekananda once said, if you think that is philosophy, if you think that that is the path, then you've lost the way. If you think the indulgent path of going into the world, sinking your teeth into every sense pleasure, thinking that that is the path, then that is proof you've lost the way. It is, as the Buddhists say, the middle path. It is neither asceticism, it is neither indulgence. Renunciation is not stiff-arming the world and being apart from it. As Christ said, be in the world, but not of it. Renunciation, what it is not giving up, it's taking up. And that's the only way to renounce the lower. You don't give up lying, you just find value in telling the truth. You don't give up drinking, you just find value in living a healthier lifestyle. And by the way, this philosophy doesn't say drinking's bad. And there might actually be times where you got to lie for a higher good. The example of Anne Frank is a perfect one that comes to mind. So it also tied to yesterday's episode on the contextual nature of this philosophy. There are no shoulds and shouldn'ts. There are no thou shalt nots. But when it comes to this philosophy, there's this massive misinterpretation of what renunciation is, the essence of this philosophy. Even if, and many people do, proclaim to know that the essence of the philosophy is renunciation, but then not know what that word really is, what it really signifies. It does not, for a third and emphatic time, it does not signify giving anything up. What it signifies is taking something up. You grab for a higher rung of a ladder, now you can let go of the lower. Grab for an even higher one, let go of the next lower rung. From one angle, you are letting go of things. Maybe you're living a healthier lifestyle and you are drinking less. Maybe you don't really drink at all. Maybe you don't go out partying until 2 a.m. anymore. Or you do it sparingly. Because there's no judgment or criticism against that. If you can do it and you're able to bring great energy into the next day, then go for it. I myself cannot. I get in bed at 8:30, which is so hilarious because I would have never, ever thought that I'd ever say that sentence to begin with, but that I'd enjoy it and smile as I'm saying it because to me it feels like indulgence because I wake up feeling amazing. But that's just it. My younger self that would stay up until 4 a.m. on a regular basis. Never had a college class before 11 a.m. because I love staying up so late. My younger self would have looked at my older self and been like, man, you're giving up some of the best hours in the day. And now at nearly 40, I'm like, the best hours in the day are the ones right in the beginning. Before the sun comes up, when I've got all of my wits about me, and the stillness of the day, before the world wakes up and pulls me out of myself. And it's just, to me, like I said, it feels like indulgence. Way more than it feels anything like discipline. Go to bed and we get in bed at 8:30, psyched that we're going to get great sleep. It's just taking up. I'm not giving up staying out late with friends. I'm taking up. I still do that every once in a while. But I'll be damned if I'm not thinking the whole time I'm doing this for you guys and you guys as friends. I'm not doing this for me. I try to plan more breakfasts with friends these days than dinners because of that. But when I'm getting in bed at 8:30, it's not because I'm thinking, all right, I've got to temper down my desire to be out with friends. It's totally just taking up something a little bit higher, and the lower just falls away. Life of a renunciate, a true renunciate, probably won't even know that they're a renunciate. They still have possessions, but they're not possessed by them. They are still in the world, they just aren't of the world. They might be a Buddha at the post office. And they have no intention of you ever even knowing it, because it's such an intrinsic and introverted pursuit and path that they've renounced admiration, renounced reputation, renounced how they're perceived, renounced that validation that so many of us think that a spiritual person should have or should seek. And yet that's just more parts to our misinterpretation of this concept. So if you take anything away from this reflection, let it be this. Renunciation is not giving anything up. It is taking something up. Taking up the higher. Over and over and over again. And all of the tiny, seemingly small to some of the major ways that you could imagine. But doing that taking up something slightly higher over and over again, to where you might be 100 feet more elevated than you were before because of just one rung of the ladder, one after the other, until all you know is climbing, not stopping, not reveling in any progress you've made, but just continuation of that evolution. Continually moving to the higher, the fall and the lower falling away. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.